I did know that she was going to read it. I did not realize that the reaction would be as it has been. I did not realize the magnitude of the reaction that I have received, all the way down to death threats. Yes, sir.
Wow. Do you liken that to the fact that, I mean, that people are just passionate, or did people not listen to the entire letter? Why do you think that?
I don't think people understood the depth of my heart, what I was trying to communicate. I was born in a very small rural community in South Carolina, due west South Carolina. I had picked rows of cotton so long you couldn't see the end of them. I have been there when my grandmother called us away from the chain gang. I've seen it all. And so I can sense bigotry from a mile away. But that was not the genesis of the motivation of me writing this. I wrote it to bring awareness or to try to wake up something in people. I do not like the decline of integrity in our country. It concerns me a great deal, especially after the Mueller report. He says that he could not exonerate the president from collusion or obstruction. But yet, from what I see and from what I read, and from what I even read in the Mueller report, it appears to me that so much of what the president says is not true. I have a real problem with his allegiance to the dictators of the world and our greatest allies. It appears we're being alienated from them. This is a democracy. When I first entered the ministry, I did not want to be a political type preacher or pastor or anything like that. But because so many of my members are constituents of the Congresswoman, I felt it my obligation to say something. And I said it. I don't regret it. The one thing that I kind of struggle with is when I said anyone, I was speaking generally, anyone who supports this present administration must be a racist, a bigot, steeped in religious belief, or just plain dumb, like my mama used to say. That was a generalization. I was not speaking of everyone. People have different reasons, and that was my opinion. And I thought we still had freedom of speech in this country. I hold no animosity or hatred toward anyone. When I first went to grad school in the small community that I was attending school in, I could not even walk up the street without being called the N-word. I could not even walk up the street without people yelling out their windows something at me. And I said, racism is still very much alive. And it is my sincere belief that the things that this president has done, the truth is, I'm embarrassed. I'm almost embarrassed to be called an American. And not only an American, but I am evangelical. I believe in the death, the burial, and the resurrection of my Lord and the Lord of many and Savior Jesus Christ. But at the same time, I know that Jesus was a radical. And over here, I find my fellow brothers and sisters who are evangelicals, and I'm not trying to talk about them, they are agreeing with the madness that's going on in this country stuff that Obama or Bush or Reagan or Clinton would have never been able to get away with. I have never seen anything like this. And so that's why that prompted me to write this.
And when you did write it, it's like you and I would have a conversation.
Yes, sir.
And a third party might take something out of context.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of what happened here, is what you're seeing.
Yes, sir.
And you believe in everything you wrote. Obviously, you said, it's from the heart. Do you think that maybe it could have been delivered in a different way, or is it just reaction to the letter? That
I don't know how I personally could have delivered it in a different way. I think it's the reaction. I think it's people, and I understand it totally. People who don't know me or my heart. I have been quoted as saying, the only person or people that know the secret or the secrets of the office or the home are the ones who abide in that place. I do not know everything that's going on in Washington, but what I do know is that it's not right. Much of it is not right. I'm not talking about the credit that the administration is taking for the economy and all those things. But when we have a president who is condescending to anyone who disagrees with him, a president who is locking arms with foreign dictators, one who has recently said, yes, I'm going to win this election and the next election and the next election. I mean, that's dangerous to me. And when it appears, take note as it appears, that we no longer have Republicans after the order of John McCain, someone, or Ronald Reagan for that matter, or even George Bush, men that I greatly respect, to challenge this man and tell him, you got to stop this. When we have a president who mocks people who have physical challenges, who has been condescending to women, the things he says, the languages he uses as the president of this is the was supposed to be the United States. Where is the unity? It concerns me. It concerns me a great deal. And so it was not my intent to offend anybody, but it was my intent to wake people up. And if you are angry, if anyone is angry about what I said, then that's your problem. You can say what you want to say. I have no problem with it. I may not agree with it, but I don't have a problem with it. Allow me the same liberty. Liberty and justice for all. Give me your tired and your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. I'm just looking for freedom.